This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, good morning, you guys. Long back, once again, we joined sessions in this in the Fourier transforms. One of the topic was missed. Last one. It is quite similar to the Fourier series, but why it is discussed in the Fourier transforms that we are going to discuss now, and where exactly that we are going to use that will discuss. So before proceeding this, let us recall what the Fourier series formulae. So in the Fourier series, a function f of x is written here a0 by 2 plus summation n equal to 1 to infinite an cos nx plus bn sin nx. If the interval is from c comma c plus 2 pi, if the interval is c comma c plus 2 pi, then I may write here a0 equals to 1 by length of the interval is 2 pi, half of the 2 pi is pi, reciprocal is 1 by pi, integral c to c plus 2 pi f of x dx. An is same logic, 1 by pi, integral c to c plus 2 pi f of x cos nx dx. Bn is 1 by pi, integral c to c plus 2 pi f of x sin nx dx. We are familiar with this. Now in this, till now we seen this as separator. Now if I combine this, so what I may get here, f of x is equals to, if I combine a0 is a0 by 2 is 1 by pi, integral c to c plus 2 pi, uh, just a second. If the interval is c comma c plus 2l, then f of x is equals to a0 by 2 plus summation n equal to 1 to infinite an cos n pi x by l plus bn sin n pi x by l. This one we known. In this a0 is 1 by l, integral c to c plus 2l f of x dx. An 1 by l, integral c to c plus 2l f of x cos n pi x by l dx, and the bn is 1 by l, integral c to c plus 2l f of x sin n pi x by l dx. Now the if I replace this, what is exactly a0, what exactly n, what exactly bn, then it may be visualized like this. uh, f of x is equals to a0 means 1 by l by 2, because a0 by 2, integral c to c plus 2l f of x dx plus, from this here I completed this a0 by 2. Next plus summation n equal to 1 to infinite an means same logic, 1 by l, integral c to c plus 2l f of x cos n pi x by L dx into cos n pi x by L plus, means I have replaced this one. Again, summation, I'm going to write this separately, plus summation n equals to 1 to infinite 1 by L f of integral c to c plus 2L f of x sin n pi x by L dx into sin n pi x by L. That's it. So in finite Fourier transform, this is only the formula we are going to use. Nothing more than that. Let us check this. Yeah, see this. Finite Fourier sine and cosine transforms. In this, the function f of x is defined in the finite interval 0 to L. So if it is, we tried it as 0 to 2L or c to c plus 2L. That's what we mentioned. So in this case, what could be the length of the interval? L. So half L by 2, reciprocal 2 by L. That will be reflected here. So when the range of the one of the variables is say x is a finite, means in earlier Fourier transforms, in Fourier transforms, these limits is from 0 to infinite in sine and cosine, whereas in Fourier transforms, this variable is from minus infinity to plus infinity. In Fourier sine transform or Fourier cosine transform, these limits would be from 0 to infinite. Now this infinite becomes a finite. These transforms is studied as Fourier finite sine and cosine transforms, nothing more than that. Instead of the infinity, we are replacing with L. So when the range of the variable, say x is a finite, that finite is upper limit is known. F of x is neither periodic nor even nor odd. Neither periodic nor even nor odd. Now we redefine f of x is a odd function minus L2 plus L, and half range sine series expansion can be obtained. It's nothing but half range. We mentioned very clearly half range, that too sine means only sine terms will be there in that. What we know in the Fourier half range sine series, only bn terms will be there. So f of x is equal to summation n equal to 1 to infinity bn sine n pi x by L, and bn is 2 by L because the length of the interval is L only. So half is L by 2, reciprocal 2 by L. That's what we justified here. 2 by L it equals 0 to L f of x sine n pi x by L dx. Now then the finite Fourier sine transform in 0 to c, whether 0 to L or 0 to c, it won't make much difference. Now as we studied, sine transform means fs will be there. So, and that too the output, because this is a finite definite integration. In the definite integration, output will not be in terms of the variable, it will be in terms of upper limit. So here, that's the reason fs of n we mentioned clearly, that is f of x is equal to 2 by L summation. This is a finite Fourier sine transform into sine n pi x by L. And similarly we mention fc of n cosine transform. cosine transform, same logic. A0 by 2 plus an cos nx. So in that f of x is a0 by 2. This is an cos nx. An cos nx. That's it. And what is the advantage that we need to learn is here it's given very clearly. Apply Fourier sine transform when the boundary condition f is prescribed. So we need to use a finite Fourier transform in the case of boundary condition. Of course, its application was not there in your syllabus. If the application were there, then you might be understand it thoroughly. And similarly, apply finite Fourier cosine transform when boundary condition fx is prescribed. Fx is prescribed. So it will be prescribed very clearly to you guys. So not to worry. Simply, what you have to remember is finite Fourier transform is nothing but a Fourier series only. In the beginning, the Fourier transforms we mentioned very clearly. This is extension of the Fourier series in the place of upper limit. If we extend that to infinite, we are going to generate. So here we are bouncing back. Nothing more than that. These result, if we can able to remember, okay, good. Otherwise, it's not necessary at all. No one are going to have that much in depth. Now say this. Find a finite Fourier sine and cosine transforms. Finite Fourier sine and cosine transforms. So fs of n is integral 0 to L. Earlier, fs of x or fs of s, we usually go with that. Integral 0 to s f of x. Since s means sine x, we mentioned sine sx dx. That's a thing that we mentioned earlier. So where we are. Sorry. Let me write here. In Fourier transforms, f of s is equals to integral 0 to infinity f of s e power ist f of t dt. This is the Fourier transforms, and inverse Fourier transform f of x is equals to 1 by 2 pi integral 0 to infinity, sorry, it's minus infinity to plus infinity e power minus isx f of s ds. These are the two formulae we studied. Now its extension Fourier sine transform fs of s equals to, this will be 0 to infinity now, 0 to infinity e power ist f of t dt, and inverse Fourier sine transform f of x is equals to, this will be 2 by pi now, because here minus infinity plus infinity will convert as a 0 to infinity. So here 2 times 0 to infinity, here 2 times 0 to infinity, 2 times 2 4. If I multiply this with 4, will be 2 by pi. That's the reason 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity e power, instead of, sorry, this is a mistake. Integral 0 to infinity. This is sine means sine st f of t dt. So this is also sine sx fs of s ds. This is ds, this is dt. So similarly here, in this case, what will be the upper limit? Instead of upper limit infinity to some finite number, this is what we are going to discuss. Similarly, Fourier, where is the white space? Okay, let me better. Here we have a white space. Then similarly, Fourier cosine transform for fc of s is equal to integral 0 to infinity cos st f of t dt. Then inverse Fourier transform f of x is equals to 2 by pi integral 0 to infinite cos s x f c of s ds, which makes if the upper limit is infinity, then that is, if the upper limit is a finite, then we are going to write a finite Fourier transform as this. The finite Fourier, this is sine transform, where is a cos, yeah, this is cos transform. Fc of n is equals to fc of n, because the x is eliminated, dx means x is eliminated, L is interval, pi is a constant, only available variable in this or available arbitrary constant is n. That's the reason this is denoted with fc of n, and inverse Fourier transform is f of x is equal to 1 by L fc of 0. This is nothing but a0 by 2 plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity an cos nx. This 2 by L is extracted from here. Okay. Now in that it was asked a problem, finite Fourier sine and cosine transform of this f of x is given clearly. Then fc of n equal to integral 0 to L. In place of L there is a pi. In place of L there is a pi. That's the reason in the beginning I started the formula with the pi. Later I started with L. So depend upon the situation, you need to decide dynamically. Integral 0 to L f of x sine n pi x by L. This f of x is x times pi minus x sine nx dx. And uv formula, this is u, this is a v. uv formula simplification, we may get this. It was asked only finite Fourier sine and cosine transform. It was not asked completely f of x. If it was asked f of x, then we might go this one also. Inverse finite Fourier transform, it was asked, then I need to go, but only it was asked up to transform. So only this is the transform. Anyhow, this document is shared through WhatsApp. You please download it and refer this one. If anybody have the BV Ramana, actually this topic is not available in your higher engineering mathematics by BS Gravel. It was not there in that, so I searched it separately. This one. Similarly, Fourier cosine transform. Just this is only substitution in the formula. In this problem, it was asked inverse finite Fourier cosine transform also asked. Means small f of x is asked. Small f of x means for that I need to compute a transform and its inverse transform. Together I need to go here. So in that f of x is equal to inverse. So that too cosine means a0 by 2 we may get in a0 by 2 plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity an cos nx. That's what. Just remember this in that way. It might be easy for you. Otherwise, you may felt this is separate topic. It's not a separate topic, friends. This is a same that one, same of that. Okay. Now, yeah, simplification only, nothing more than that. Again here from inverse finite Fourier sine it was asked. So f of x, but f of x in terms of sine we required. For that we need to compute the transform first. Later only we have to go with inverse. These are some applications of that. Find the temperature distribution in a bar length. Of course, this above your head, so not necessary. Up to this, just you practice up to example 3. Then coming to exercise problems. May not be but clear. Okay, I may put this page again. This is one you can try. This is one you can try. This from 0 to 4. Finite Fourier sine transform it was asked. finite Fourier cosine transform, what it was asked. And in the beginning only it was asked. Find the Fourier sine transform and the cosine transform for the simply just not the function f of x is equal to x in 0 to 4. It's an f. For this, you need to compute finite Fourier sine transform, finite Fourier cosine transform. Similarly, f of x is equal to 1 from 0 to pi by 2, minus 1 from pi by 2 to pi. For this, again, you compute both the finite Fourier sine transform and cosine transform. For your reference, values also answer also given to you. Just you go through it. Yeah, whenever you're getting doubt. So compute these 5 problems. So 6 up to 6. Rare cases it may be given to you, not frequently. Very rare case it may be given to you. So this is the summary of that entire Fourier transforms. Fourier integral representation is for a non-periodic function from minus infinity to plus infinity, blah blah blah, and the formulas are given. Fourier integral, from the Fourier integral entire Fourier transforms are generated. That's what. But for Fourier integral, Fourier series is the base, so everything is connected in that way. Where you are going to use this are the partial differential equation in a boundary value problem get be transformed into ordinary differential equation with help of the Fourier transform. This is the major application where exactly you are going to use Fourier transform. Means by using the Fourier transform, you are going to convert the boundary value problems to the PD or maybe you may not have in depth of the PD. Heat equation, wave equation, and Laplace equation are there in earlier syllabus, but here it was not there in your syllabus, I think so. So there are partial differential equations with multiple variables. They can be converted. Every partial differential equation can be find the solution after converting into ordinary. Directly, partial differential equation doesn't possess solution. They need to be converted into ordinary, then only we'll go with the solutions. So this Fourier transform will work in such a way that boundary value problems are generally the partial differential boundary value problems are going to be converted in terms of ordinary differential equations. Ordinary differential equations. In that, this partial Fourier transforms works a lot. Okay, guys. With this, I would like to wind up my syllabus. And one more thing, from tomorrow onwards, you are going to have, how many people are there here in the system? Let me check. Yeah, up to 30, total 36 people are there. From tomorrow onwards, we are going to assign, we are going to have online seminars per day, 10 members. That schedule will be given to you through WhatsApp group. This is the must for them. The rest, if you want to join, you can go, no issues. If you want to join, you can go, no issues. But this is a must for the assigned members. With I'll assign the topic that will be going to commence from tomorrow onwards. Tomorrow from 9 to 10 in between. Okay, guys, enjoy the vacation.